Alright, so this is the third video in the revision of fractions set of videos. So this one is going to focus on multiplying. So I'm just going to scroll down to the multiplying examples. Alright, so we're going to start with multiplying proper fractions. Now, multiplying is easier in a sense than addition and subtraction. And the reason for that is because when we multiply fractions, it's multiplying the top numbers. Okay, so we do 2 times 1, and then you multiply the bottom numbers, 3 and 5. And you can see the working out here as well. So 2 times 1 is 2, 3 times 5 is 15. Now, in this case, you are left with the fraction in its simplest form, but that's not always going to be the case. So let's have a look at a few more examples. So the second one, we've got 3/4 times 8/9. So we have 3/4 times 8/9. So on the top, we've got 3 times 8 and 4 times 9. Now, we've got bigger numbers here, so you're probably thinking, well, 3 times 8, depending on how well you know your times tables, is 24. 4 times 9 is 36. This is not the simplest form. Okay, so 24 over 36 is not the simplest fraction, so we do need to simplify it. And the way I'm doing it now is different to how it's done it here, and I'll explain this method in a sec. So I always find when simplifying the easiest thing, if you don't know a common multiple, is to think about, well, they're both even numbers, so let's halve them. So half of 24 is 12, and half of 36 is 18. Now they're both even again. So if you have even numbers, you can keep dividing by 2 or halving. So 12 divided by 2 gives you 6. And 18 divided by 2 gives you 9. So we've got 6/9. Now, we have an even number, but an odd number on the bottom. So we can't halve it, because if we halve the 9, we're going to get another fraction. You don't put fractions within fractions. But both these numbers are divisible by 3. Okay, so 6 can be divided by 3, and so can 9. So I might just write here in a different colour so you can see what I'm doing, is we're going to be dividing the top and the bottom by 3. Okay, so 6 divided by 3 gives you 2, and 9 divided by 3 gives you 3. Then we're left with 2/3. Now we can't simplify that anymore, and you can check your answer there is 2/3. So the first question, 2/3. Oh, sorry, I'm doing B. I was wondering why my answer was the same. 3/4 times 8/9 is 2/3. All right, now I'm going to show you how the textbook has done it. And the way they've done it is trying to simplify it before you actually get to the fraction. So we do the same thing. So remember, we're looking at question B. 3 times 8 and 4 times 9. Okay, so we say, all right, what can cancel out? So this 3 can cancel out with a 9. So if it's easier, I'm going to write the multiplication on the bottom. Instead of having 4 times 9, I'm going to have 9 times 4. So we can see it a bit easier. So 3 over 9, if we divide both these numbers by 3, we're going to have 1 on the top and 3 on the bottom. So basically I'm just simplifying that. Because what this is effectively, and this is why I'm probably complicating it more than what it needs to be, it's the same as that. Okay, so 3/9 times 8/4. Okay, so even though it's different, it looks different here, it's the same as this. And 3/9 is a lot easier to deal with than 3/4. And 8 over 4 gives you 2. So, and we didn't have anything on the bottom. It's basically just 1. So 1 times 2 gives you 2, 3 times 1 gives you 3. So you get the same answer of 2/3. All right, let's have a look at the next example. So I'm going to do question C in the same way. Now 4, so we've got this of here. So of means the same as multiply. Okay, so we have 4 times 3 over 8 times 6. Now, just as I was writing that, I realized we didn't need to switch the fractions around because they're already in a nice way. So basically, 4 over 8, actually I might just get rid of this now because I'm stepping ahead. Let's simplify the 4/8 first. Okay, so 4 over 8, we can simplify that to a half. And the way I did that is I said, well, 4 goes into 8. So let's do that over here, 4/8. 4 can go into 8, and we do that by dividing both sides by 4. Okay. So 4 divided by 4 gives you 1, 8 divided by 4 gives you 2. So that's 4/8 is the same as a half. And then 3/6 is also a half. And then we can multiply them. So 1 over 2 times 2 gives you 4. And if I scroll down, you'll be able to see the rest of that example there. All right, so let's have a look quickly because we're going to be looking at, there we go, improper fractions and then mixed numbers. So let's quickly have a look at the basic multiplication first. So question 8. All right, so first of all, ask yourself, can you simplify the fraction before you do the multiplication? So in all of these, it doesn't look like you can. So then you can multiply the top and multiply the bottom. You can do cancelling out if you feel confident. Just by looking at these, some of them can be cancelled, which is good, but it's a good idea probably just to do the multiplication, then to simplify. Then in question 9, it looks like you're going to be getting mixed number answers because 7 over 3 is an improper fraction. So let's go back up and look at multiplying improper fractions, which is that example I was just looking at. Okay, so 5/3 times 7/10. So you can multiply the numerator, so 5 times 7 over 3 times 2. 5 times 7 is 35, and 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, so how many times does 6 go into 35? So if you know you have 6 times tables, it is 5. So 5 times 6 is 30, leaves us with 5 remainder. So it's 5 and 5, 6. The second example, so I'll just quickly clear this, question B. Okay, so see how they've done some cancelling out. So we have 8 times 15 over 5 times 4. Now what I would actually do is switch it. So we have 8 times 15 over 4 times 5. And we can separate then that into something like that, which I think is a whole lot easier to manage, which is basically what they've done here, but can be quite confusing for some people. So 8 divided by 4 is 2, 15 divided by 3 is 3. So I don't have to do the multiplication. I don't have to do 8 times 15. I simplify the fraction first. So 2 times 3 is 6. And I think what I've done there is much easier than how they've done it here. All right, now looking at some, I think the next one is mixed number. Okay, so before you can multiply the fractions, you need to convert it to improper fractions. So we haven't actually done that yet, so I might just do that now. So let's look at just converting this 2 1/3 into a improper fraction. So an improper fraction just means you have a number, a larger numerator, or the number on the top is larger than the denominator, the number on the bottom. Okay, so we've got 2 and 1/3. Okay, and remember that there's a invisible plus in between them. Oh, in this case, a weird looking plus. So let's deal with this 2 first, because this is already a fraction, the 1/3, but this 2 isn't. So basically, we're going to have it over 3 because we've got 1/3 here. Okay, so this 2 is made up of 3/3 and another 3/3, which gives you 6/3. If you're unsure, 6 divided by 3 gives you 2. Okay, so if you had the wrong number there, you can just go back and check your answer. And 6 plus 1 is 7. So that's what has happened here. Let's do the 1 and 2/5. So 1 plus 2/5. Okay, so in this case, we need the same denominator. So it's a 5 here, so we need a 5 here. And it's just a 1, so it's just 1 5 up the top. Plus 2/5 gives you 7/5. So we need to add those two together. Oh, sorry, we're multiplying here. So 7 times 7, might not be able to see there, so it's 49. And then on the bottom, 3 times 5 gives you 15. All right, how many 15s go into 49? So 15, 30, 45. So 3 and 4 remaining. Okay, so 3 and 4/15 is the answer. Let's just have a look at the second example. So they have done some cancelling here. Okay, so you can, but the cancelling is cross cancelling, so it can be quite confusing. So let's do this question together. So let's deal with the 6 and 1/4 first. I might do it over here so I can do them both together. 6 and 1/4. All right, so we're going to do them both over 4. All right, we've got a 6 here, so 6 times 4 is 24, and that is equal to 25 over 4. The second fraction, 2 and 2/5, 2 plus 2/5. Okay, so we need to make the numerator for this one 2/5, sorry, 5ths. 2/5, and 2 times 5 gives you 10. So 10 divided by 5 is 2. Good. 12/5. Okay, so we have 25 on 4 times, I might write that here, 25 times 12, and then 4 times 5 on the bottom. Now, the cancelling is done with the 12 and the 4 and the 25 and the 5. So just to make it easier, I'm going to write the bottom in the other way. So the 5 on the left and then 4 on the right, just so we've got the numbers underneath each other. So 25 divided by 5 is 5, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. And we're left with 15. So what they've done here is they've done cross elimination, but which is the same as what we've done, but I've just moved that 5 to here, which you can do, because remember 5 times 4 is the same as 4 times 5, so it doesn't matter what order you write it in. All right, so let's go down to the questions just quickly, because I don't want the videos to go too much longer than 15 minutes. Okay, so question 10, we have a mixed number. Okay, so the 1 and the 2 need to change. So the 1, let's just do that quickly. So the 1 and 3/5, oops. So the 1 is 5/5 plus 3/5 becomes 8/5. And then we need to do the 2 and 1/3. So the 2 becomes 10. Oh, sorry, not 10. I was looking at the 5 there. it becomes 6 on 3. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. And then don't forget that third there as well. 7 on 3. So now I have it as an improper fraction. So 8/5 times 7/3. Okay, I can see there that there's no elimination. So I've got to just go straight away. 8 times 7 is 40. Oops, no, it's not. 56. And then 5 times 3 is 15. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, I don't know my 15 times tables. Just think of a clock. Okay, so there's 60 seconds or 60 minutes on the clock, and they're all separated into quarters, which are 15 minutes. So I know that multiples of 15 go 15, 30, 45, 60, and if you need to keep going, you can. So 15 goes into 45 3 times, and then the remainder, so 56 take away 45 gives you 11. So 13 and 11/15. Now we're getting into territory that may be beyond what you need to do. So if you are having a bit of trouble doing this, perhaps have a go at doing one. Choose one that you think you can manage doing, and then don't worry too much if you are struggling, because you just really need to grasp how to do addition and subtraction and basic multiplication, not really multiplication of mixed numbered fractions. Okay, we might end it there, and then the final video will be on dividing fractions.